All right, let's open up my chat doc. Oh, look, a chat doc. We'll put that down there someplace. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a good spot. Hey, everybody. Let me get you the funny intro, and I'll pull you up on this. Okay. Hey, how you doing? All right, I'll pull you up there so I can make sure, monitor the broadcast. Got some chai. I know BRC, but God, I love Oregon chai. If you never had it, you really should. If you like tea, chai tea is spicy. Like it. All right. Well, tomorrow, I'm actually getting very excited about it. Saw my cardiologist, my pulmonologist today. Got some pain pills. You know, these blood clots, they hurt, especially the superficial ones. The DVTs don't. You know, the deep ones, they don't hurt. All right, we are. Oh, if you haven't noticed this thing right here, I've been adding some stuff to it. We're just trying this out. So you can do a subscription. $2, $5, 15. Now, the nice thing is at 15, I send you something every month. So that is actually really cool. I like that a lot. I've been wanting to do that. So that is very cool. So you can just click that. I think that works. Let me see. Let me click it. Boom. No. Evidently, but there's a link down below. It's supposed to work. I don't know why it doesn't work on my phone. I don't know why. Oh well. Sylvie. I think there's another little button here I can do. Oh yeah. I can do that. Buy me coffee there, and then I can take this other one off. Since it doesn't work, we'll just put that down there. Go figure. All right. There's some really cool things. You know what? The other day I was at Parker's Rod and Gun. And Dave, the owner, is just a really nice guy. But he had this clearance bin. All right? Clearance bin. And he had these cards. A card is, you know, a POP display, point of purchase display, with all these baits. So this is one of the cards. Nice little spoons to it. I like the fact that, you know, that they're not flat spoons, they're curved. So they flutter a lot nicer. And I got these. I sort of took this one off and taped it back. Very lightweight spinners. Thought maybe I can modify these a little bit. So that's kind of cool. And then these little Cleos, these red and white ones too. So I might take these to the lake tomorrow and give some away. I don't know. But $4. I know. A whole card for $4. If you live local, go by Parker's. There's still quite a few of these things there. So they're on an end cap. And help them out. $4 a card. I mean, you get a dozen baits. How can you not like that? I mean, $4 a dozen, 30 cents each. It's nothing. It's nothing. I know. And you can do some really fun stuff with some of those. I mean, spoons, there are people that just fish spoons. So, spoons are really a very, I mean, you can jig them. They just sort of float down. You control them. You do what you want with them. The spinner is actually kind of interesting. These little Colorado blades. There's really nothing on here. I don't know if I can put something on there, but I could, you know, add something down below it, you know, and just elongate a little bit with a bead or something. Anyway, I was just thinking what I could do with something like this. They're not very heavy. They're 1/16 of an ounce, so 1/8 of an ounce, I think. So But I mean, they'll work just fine, I think, just as a silver spinner. So I'm looking forward to doing, playing with those a little bit. I mean, for $4. I mean, 30 cents. I mean, how could you not buy it? Well, I'll bring some tomorrow to the lake. And I'm not going to set up my paint booth because I am in a lot of pain, although I'm hoping that the pain pills help. And but I will be making inline spinners, so that'll be nice. And showing people how to make inline spinners. We'll have some kids up there, I think. Try to get them up there. Have them design a spinner. I'll make it for them, and free little gift for them. So that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow at Lake of the Woods. It's snowing outside, so it is Winterfest. So we're looking forward to having a very white day tomorrow. Let me look at their lake cannon. And, the lake is not frozen, unfortunately. I wish it was. It's not frozen at all right now. So, it's got open water right now. But lots of snow on the ground. And evidently they're going to put me near the fire pit. And they're working hard on it. I see them over there working hard on it. There's Chris. So I'll be over by the fire pit. I'll have a heater. I'll have a tent. And we're going to, hopefully, please stop by so I'm not bored. Please. I need to talk to people. Everybody needs to stop by tomorrow and talk to me. And I will have I only have a few Super Bowl baits left. And I will have a couple books. They're selling already. And I'll show you how to fish the lake really well. You will learn something at my booth. Ask me any question you want. If I don't know, we'll figure it out. I am a bass fisherman, primarily. Although trout are stupid, so they're easy to catch. I can catch stupid fish, and I can catch bass. Now, kokanee, something I've never really learned how to do with a flasher system. I don't own a downrigger. You could actually catch kokanee off of spoons. Those spoons right there. Just jig them. When I go across the lake, I'm going to bring my fish finder too. So we're going to explain what a fish finder does and how to read a fish finder. So that's going to be really nice too. So I'll bring my Garmin and we'll put it in demo mode, and you can actually see what a fish finder does. In fact, I might even bring the Markham, the flasher, so you can see two totally different fish finders and see how to read them. So that'll be really nice for people to see. And then I'll have little quizzes. I got quizzes. And the right way and the wrong way to set it up. We'll teach people how to set up a drop shot, a Texas rig, stuff like that. We'll teach them how to do knots if you don't know how to make a knot. The two easy ones, improved cinch knot and a Palomar knot. Those two are the easiest knots to do. Hey, Connery. So I'm looking forward to just hopefully, it's not supposed to be snowing tomorrow, and it's supposed to be a pretty day. Not real warm, but can't be real warm when you're playing in the snow. But if you go to lakeofthewoodsresort.com, you can see the webcams down at the bottom, and you can actually see what the lake looks like, which is water, not frozen. Hey! Oh, Cooper! Well, I hope so, Coop. I mean, I can use some help in the booth too. So, if you want to help me, you can stop by the booth. I'll teach you how to make some. You can make some inline spinners. It's really easy to do. I've got a nice little machine to do it. it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, the whole point is to have fun. It's just, that's the whole point. And you guys know me. I mean, I always like to enjoy people. People make life better. So I'll be on pain meds. My leg is just killing me. I ran out of my blood thinners is what I did. And then between the pharmacy and the doctors, they couldn't coordinate the renewal, the refill. So for a week, I had no blood thinners. My blood is so bad that it coagulates, it clots very quickly. That's why I've had strokes, blood clots in my brain, pulmonary embolisms, just stuff, I mean, a lot of stuff. And so it just, and my body will break if it has a window of opportunity. So it had a window, it broke. But I saw the blood clots down in my leg, and so I went to the doctors, and before the blood clot would break up and then hit my lungs, heart, or brain, then we were able to address it before something serious happened. So I still have the DVT, which is your deep vein thrombosis, which is where you really have to worry about. But doctor looked at it today, so we're still working on it. And we'll just keep an eye on it. That's what it is. If you see me drooling and unresponsive in the booth, you know what happened. I'll probably be joking anyway. I always joke. The way Italians, my family, we deal with stress is that we laugh. We joke about things. Oh, I'm sorry, Connery. You know what? We're going to have a good time. I'm going to do a live broadcast. So we'll have the camera set up. And I've got my backup battery. In fact, I've got a big backup battery because we're going to use my lithium ion to run the fish finder. So I'll have plenty of power. The camera will be going on all day. You'll be able to see, the booth, me working, me having fun, me saying stupid things. I mean, it's always good to say stupid things as long as it's not offensive. But if I offend you, I'm sorry, but I'm not a foul person. I don't cuss. But you can read stuff into some things that I say, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. I don't mean to hurt people's feelings. I really don't. I'll be okay, Connery. I'll be okay. I have survived a lot worse than, this. I've survived a lot worse than this. So we'll be fine. I mean, if you knew all the stuff, crazy thing is my friends up here, because they've only known me for a few years, they have no idea, besides the brain damage, the pulmonary disease, the kidney disease, and my blood disease. It's just, sort of adds up every once in a while and sort of pops out there. But we're good. That's why it's important to treasure today. Today is important because tomorrow might not happen. And that's why people make life better. I mean, you, Connery, Cooper, everybody, Cooper's grandfather, and it's just everybody makes life better if you're not easily offended. Because if you are, then you probably won't like hanging around people, especially people like me. Today is George's birthday. He turned 60. We're the same age, except he's a few months older than me. So I turned 60 later this year. And he'd be fun to, at 60 years old, you usually buy old people stuff like X-Lax, absorbent underwear, maybe a walker. Grab one from, a secondhand store and bring it to him, put a little bow on it. Maybe with a little potty in it. That's the type of guy I am. It's like when somebody turns like that, those marked ages like 60, you don't really feel old, but your body's telling you you're getting old. And when somebody gives you gifts like that, it is, funny, sarcastic, and sad all at the same time. It's so funny, but it's we have. I mean, I always have a good time with everybody. Oh man, I'm just having a hard time with some of this stuff. Yeah, there it is. So, but I'm actually thinking of some really neat things. I like, this is, to get good hooks. This looks like a good hook to it. And then, this hammered blade is nice too. I don't know what to do with this exactly. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring these and maybe I'll think of something. I'll bring all 3 of these cards tomorrow. So, I mean, this will always catch fish. Red and white always do. In a blade. This one's interesting. This is orange with silver and black spots. So it's very much like a brown trout, This actually has sort of a brown trout look to it. Whatever. So this might work in our lake. It's actually a pretty neat little bait. I love, it's a gold. Oh, it's gold, not silver. I'm blind. But it's got, both of these have this curve to it. And they're heavy. This is, I put it in my kit for tomorrow. How heavy are these? Does it say? 1/4 ounce. These are 1/4 ounce. So these things will cast a mile. So I'll bring a couple of my rods tomorrow so people can, and then I'm going to bring some reels. And we'll, this horrible reel, this one, we'll bring this. We'll just break it up. We'll take it apart, so people can see a magnet system. They can see how heavy it's, we'll just put it on the table because this thing's terrible. This is a terrible reel. Terrible reel. I mean, nobody deserves to buy this reel at all. So we'll sort of use this to teach people about bait casting. Yeah, they do have a nice flutter to them. They really do. This thing is terrible. Listen to this. That's how loose it is. I mean, this is about as bad as it gets. I've never seen a reel that bad. It's almost like, why do you put your name on? Even if your name is cheap, why would you make it terrible? Cheap is one thing, but terrible is a totally different thing. But yeah, we'll bring these tomorrow. We'll probably give a few away. Do a little this and that. I don't know. Well, I mean, and then watch it. Sharp hooks. But I'll bring some books tomorrow, and if anybody wants to, I'll bring 2 sets. I only have 2 sets. Wow. Of my sci-fi books. Thinking, we'll bring a hardbound of Orion, and we'll pair it up with a softbound of Phoenix. So we'll sell these 2 sets tomorrow at my booth. So I should go by the bank and grab some change today. I should do that. And these are, they'll be a nice. So those who like sci-fi, this is a real and very young person appropriate. I do use a mild word in the end of Phoenix Rising, I think. The word damn. I use that word once. But I try to keep it very, 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 very youth appropriate. Because, my kids, I have kids. So we're going to take 2 of these, 2 sets of these, and we'll sell these for $30 for the 2 because one's hardbound. Signed by the author. Yeah. Let's see if we get these down. And I have 3 of my terrible at fishing instruction manuals. One, Lake of the Woods guide. Actually, I think I have one in the truck. So we'll have 2 of those. So we'll put, these will be there. Nice. Thank you. I need to learn how to make a chatterbait, a bladed jig. I've been looking up some stuff on it. I think I could do it. I'm not sure if it's going to be affordable to resell it, but it would be affordable to own, to make it for me. But put some skirts on it on a jig head, rig, and then add a blade to it. I think that would be really, really good. Maybe bring some my business books. I got quite a few of those, so we'll bring a few of those. Just in case somebody wants. This is my very first book. All professionally edited and, really nice book, actually. So we'll bring those. But in case somebody wants, probably not. Who cares about small businesses? So there we go. There we go. 3, 4, 7, and 4 more is 11. So, I'm trying to earn enough money for my Shimano Conquest BFS. It's a $450 reel. That's crazy. $450 fishing reel. But it is considered the world's best BFS reel. And I have the perfect rod to put it on. Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot cheaper. Yeah, I want to do it. I got 93 baits in the bag to sell at the general store at the marina. And when you buy 3 baits, you get a free sticker. I'm adding there it is. Lift up my green screen. That's my lift up the lake. I'm very strong. So this is the special tomorrow. $12 for a large lure, $7.50 for a small one. If you buy 3, you get a free sticker, which of course is my terrible fishing stickers. But that is tomorrow's special. So just a simple prices. So if you buy 2 small and a large, you're out the door for $28, $27, and you get 3 hand-painted custom lures and a sticker. So, so that's tomorrow's special. I've got, really, you want to hit that early. You want to hit my baits early because there are some fantastic baits in there. Some of them are just one-offs. You just got to hit them early and just get, grab the 3 that you want. I would definitely, if you are in an area with warmer water, like the Lake of the Woods is in the summer, it's all top water. Just grab some top water stuff. I do have probably about 10 top water baits in the selection. Something that Lake of the Woods Marina doesn't stock. They don't stock top water, except unless it's plastic, like a frog or something. And most people don't know how to work a frog. So, but my wake baits are fantastic. I love my wake baits. And let's see what else. Is there anything else we can bring tomorrow? Cooper, you think of anything that I can do at the booth? Huh? What else can I do? Oh, I did teach people how to spool. I should teach people how to spool a fishing line, especially spinning reels. Spinning reels are tricky to spool, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. So I need to teach them how to do that, or else they get line twists and stuff like that, and that's no fun. Line twists is no fun. So we're going to bring the cards, these cards. And I've got a whole selection of baits. And I've got all sorts of different hooks so people can understand hooks. I will have my tablet with me and we'll play some videos on the table. So, I mean, you know, this thing right here, buy me a coffee. When you think, I've supported a lot of channels. I mean, 2, 5, 10, $20, you know, some of them for a year on their subscription. And the reason I do is because I have uploaded over 1,000 videos on this channel, not counting the shorts and the lives. You guys know I've done a lot of lives. When you add all that up, I know I'm retired, and I'm doing what I love, but that's a lot of work. And now I got this new editing program that I absolutely love. I will teach people how to work certain baits, because when you buy a bait, that's just the beginning. You need to learn the bait. And once you learn the bait, you know how to present that bait to the fish properly, you're done. I mean, you start pulling them in. And that's why a lot of people, they get frustrated when they fish next to me, because they won't catch as many as me. But the reason is that I'm actually presenting the bait differently. You know, my rods are carbon fiber hand-rolled rods, and I can just do this. And that translates all the way through the line to my bait. And I can actually make that bait do things with just a touch of my finger onto my rod. And a good rod is extremely important. It really, really, really is. People don't realize that a Chinese-made store-bought, off-the-shelf rod doesn't even have it lined up on the spine. So when you cast it, it's going left or right a lot of times. If they hit the spine, they did it on accident. But and then of course the sensitivity. You know, graphite is good, composites are good, fiberglass is good, but to be honest, carbon fiber is one of the best when it comes to sensitivity and transmitting it. I have one rod that I'll bring tomorrow, which I don't recommend the brand, but it does have a very unique handle. And the grip is also carbon fiber. So it actually transmits the sensation through the grip. Most of the time, when I'm working a rod, it has an open spot underneath here to where I can put my finger on the blank. And so now, what this finger is going to feel what this rod is doing. And it will get it from the tip, from the line. So right here is my most sensitive area. This is where I'm going to feel a subtle hit on my bait. And the other rod, instead of cork or EVA foam, it uses carbon fiber. So basically it's transmitting from here to there. And not that you hold it here a lot, but sometimes you do have your second hand on there. And sometimes the fish hits it right on the drop. As soon as it hits the water, a fish will jump up and grab it. So it's really a very good rod. It's just terrible company. This company, Cajun, is my favorite company to buy from. Most of my rods are Cajun, except for the one edge. And Cajun rods, for the money, can't be beat. I mean, this trigger is a light, fast. This particular one was broken off by a guest at the resort. Yeah. I had to buy a new one. I couldn't charge these guys because he broke it on me. When me and my friend are fishing in my boat, we work baits differently, and it's fascinating to see how the fish react. Yeah, it's a big deal. There is one video in the Not Anymore playlist called Presentation. And you'll see me without editing. All right. I mean, I threw a chatterbait, and I really thought I was going to get a smallmouth, but I got a largemouth. But the chatterbait, first time I cast it, you throw it out there, you reel it in, then you change it up, you let it sink a little bit, change the speed of it. Then I think on the third cast, I let it sink near the bottom, and as soon as I activated the chatter, it went like this, and then boom, a largemouth hit it. It is a understanding and changing your presentation of your bait is very, very important. And it's the only way to really catch fish and outthink them. So, I mean, you could do it on accident. We all do it. We've all caught fish on accident. We just throw it out there and say, how did he get that? I remember one time I threw it over a tree branch, and the bait was dangling just above the water, and a bass jumped up and got it. Okay, that's not the way you present a bait to a fish, by dangling it above the water. Buddy of mine caught a 6-pound bass over by the marina because he caught a trout. And when he was reeling in the trout, the bass ate the trout. Sometimes you just catch them on accident. But they're happy accidents, aren't they? It's big old 6-pounder. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But I'm just really looking forward to this. So, I know, a 6-pound bass hitting his trout. Yeah, and sometimes that's how you're going to catch a German brown. German browns hit trout. And so we're going to talk about big baits tomorrow. We're going to talk about little baits. We're going to talk about finesse. We're going to deep divers, crank baits. We're going to show you how to properly hook up a jig, a bass jig. And we're basically at my table. We're going to teach you. You can say, Mike, I've never caught a bass. How do I do that? Well, this is how you're going to do it. And these are the most popular ways of catching bass. And I have a really good sheet on the 2 most popular and most effective techniques to catch bass. So I will teach you how to set it up, how to rig it, and you'll be off to the races come summer. Now, this time of year, it's all cold water fish out in the lake because it's just cold. Very small, very finesse jigs, and you're just going to throw it. And to be honest, I mean, throw something out there, and you're going to probably do a water bobber technique. Wow, nice. Yeah, you know what? Swim baits work great. People see me out here, and there is a topwater hit with slow motion replay on my playlist. You should look at it. That was caught on a 7.5-inch wake bait. It was only about a 2.5-pounder. But typically with a 7-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch swim bait, you're basically working 1-pounders on up. And so you're not going to catch as many fish, but you're going to catch much larger fish. And that's the great thing about it. I mean, a 1/2-pounder is probably not going to be attacking a 7-inch swim bait. Now, I did order a bunch of 6th Sense baits, and I did get their trace. Let's grab that. Only because it was on sale. I'll never pay retail. Never pay retail. So this is their trace swim bait, and it's a 6-inch, right? I assume because it says 6. Yeah, 6-inch swim bait. So it's gotten really good reviews. Really soft tail to it. They do give you an extra tail, which is really nice. But this is a $35 bait by 6 cents. That's what this is. $35. And they have much bigger ones. They got ones that are $75. And 6 Cents has really good paint jobs, great hooks, great split. I mean, really, it's a quality bait. But I can paint this. This is not a hard pattern at all. But, I actually bought this for one reason. Because I can get the blank. I can buy the blank. And I wanted to compare the blank to the original. And to see what it was like. Now, I do have... Oh, you guys are going to love this. Next week will be coming a 7-inch swim bait that I ordered. It'll have 15 mil eyes. Gorgeous eyes to go on it. And it has the underneath where the hooks attach this eye swivels. It swivels. And that is going to increase hookups. So I bought 4 of them to paint. Yeah, I do too. I do too. So I bought 4 of those baits. And it's got a what do you call it? A bristle tail? It's got bristle tail on it. And I'm looking forward to painting those. I've got some new paint I want to try too. I tried some cheap paint the other day, and just because I was in the craft store, I wanted to see what it looked like, and it looks cheap. So that'll be one I fish with. I just wanted to try it because it was so cheap. Really, I mean, some of the best paints are Createx. The Wicked line of paints are fantastic, and then Turbo Dork for color transitional paints. There is a type of transitional paint, a powder, that I want to put and create because the powder is really, really good. Yeah, I mean, my favorite 6 Cents, and I can't get the blank for this. Where's one? I can't get the blank for these. I used to, but I guess somebody, wherever I got, stopped selling the blanks for these. So I absolutely love the action the Swank has. This L lip on it, what it does, it'll go down and stop at about 3 feet. And this thing has incredible amount of rattle to it. This is, I've caught 2 personal bests on Swanks. I love this design. If I could find more blanks, and I do have a couple still that I painted, but I don't know where I got those blanks. I can't find where they were. But I would love to just make an entire line of Swanks. This L bill. There's some other L bills out there, but they got to be this big, This is the 77 and 77 millimeter, and it's a great paint. Yeah, they do go through the weeds amazingly. For some reason, this bill helps it cut through weeds better. But if you ever want, if you go to 6 Cents and you go to their clearance, I got these for $4. I can't make it for $4. So definitely always buy clearance. I don't even shop any other area. Now, I did buy one thing from them. They're Picos. This was a, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's way back here. Really should take better care of these. They don't come with a good package. The Picos, I just wanted to see what it was like, so I paid retail for this. So, it was an underspin, 1/16 of an ounce, I think, 1/8 of an ounce, 1/8 of an ounce. So, but this plastic, if you looked at the video, the plastic on it stinks. And it really needs to be more stretchy because I just pulled on it a little bit and I broke the tail off. So, but I love underspins. I just wanted to try it and check it out. But you should definitely, I mean, to be honest, hit their clearance section. And I got the trace, this one, for $15. So this was $20 off, this trace. And that's why I got it. I wouldn't have paid $35 for this bait because I can make it. But it was worth getting it for $15. As I get the blank, I want to compare it and see if it's actually a proper blank for this particular bait. So, but I love swings. And if you ever fish with one of these, you will absolutely fall in love with this bait. You just absolutely will fall in love with this bait. It will catch fish. It'll catch fish like crazy. Until it doesn't, and then you got to go with a different swing. And I do. I think I bought 3 swinks that were on clearance. I've got this one over here because it doesn't have any green on it, and I'm using a green screen right now. But I got a lot of crushes, and yeah, I got a lot of crushes over there. And I love they have the pumpkin seed sunfish patterns, a lot of them, and that's a really good pattern to catch fish with. So, but I won't bring these tomorrow because, you know, we don't sell them there, so, and it's not my bait. Well, it is my bait. I paid for it. But, and then I won't bring the swank because, yeah, I have my swim baits tomorrow. But, $35 for this thing. $35. Now, my baits run $40 or $50 for the big ones. My most expensive bait is a $50 bait. This new one is a $50 bait that is coming in. It's an expensive blank. Again, big old giant eyes, 15 millimeter eyes. I got mustad hooks to put on it. Really nice mustad. 1/0. Hopefully that's not too big for that bait. I don't think it is. It should be okay on a 7-inch. So I'm looking forward to painting those. I will have to put in an order very specific because the eyes I got are gorgeous. So I want to work that. You'll probably work with like a baby bass design on one. Definitely a silverback. Silverbacks always catch fish too. I mean, not silverbacks, but bluebacks. And maybe a crappie design. Yeah, absolutely, Connery. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love throwing big baits. I love throwing big baits. People think I'm nuts when I throw a 7-inch bait out there. They think I'm shooting for a shark. I go, no, I'm just looking for something with a big old mouth. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. You know, my medium heavy I use, and that pole can do it. And that one is also a Cajun. It's a Black Bayou series. I thought about getting one of their Savannah series. So, but yeah, it would be so much fun to go out there and just shoot for the big ones. We'll catch a lot of overly aggressive small ones like we always do. You know, you catch a fish that's smaller than your bait. It's crazy. But they do. They hit it. And you bring them in, you think, what are you thinking about, little guy? But I love before I started making baits, 6 cents was the only subscription bag I subscribed to that I recommended. Because even though I didn't use everything in the bag, they usually gave you 3 or 4 hard baits, and they were worth it. Their hard baits are fantastic. So, but I love 6 cents quality. And you can't beat them on their clearance. I mean, like I said, Connor, go to their clearance, see if they got any more of these swinks. This is a really, actually, I painted They're in the they're in my to-go bag for tomorrow. I painted this design. I love this design. The bright yellow spots, sort of the crimson red on it. I hand painted the craw design because it looked like it's hand painted here. So I didn't want to use a stencil. And then I took basically a toothpick and I just started making yellow dots all over it. And it's beautiful. I really think, and I think in the store there'll be jerk bait with this design in the selection. So that actually I think is going to be an awesome. I mean, you never see a craw design in a jerk bait, so could be pretty good. Who knows? It might suck, but I think it's gorgeous. Like I said, it'll catch a fisherman. But oh my gosh, I mean, what else I got? I love the pumpkin seed stuff too. You know, the pumpkin seed patterns that they have. Pumpkin seed sunfish. Here's a small crush, a 50X. I can get the 25X blanks. I am going to order some of those, but I need to sell some of my baits and then buy my reel. And then whatever's left over, I buy more baits. But this right here is the pumpkin seed one. Perfect little bait. The 50X is just a great little bait. It's sort of a soft knock to it. Well, I won't tell people about it. I love secret lakes. Love secret lakes. I'd love to go fishing with you, bud. I mean, I don't think we ever have. Have we? I don't think we ever gone fishing together. Cooper and I went fishing together. He's catching bass. It's such a good time. I mean, I am a pretty sarcastic guy out on a boat. And to be honest, I've only been on a bass boat one time in my life. I've only been on a bass boat one time. Such a bass boat. My boat's my bass boat. People laugh at my boat. But my boat's cool. And did I tell you I'm going steelhead fishing on the 23rd? That's right. My wife bought me a guided trip on the Rogue River. So on the 23rd of this month, I am on a drift boat out of Grants Pass. I'm going down the Rogue or up the Rogue or wherever we're going. And we're going to be one time more than me. One time more than you, huh? Well, I love my boat. My boat is a nice little boat. I mean, it fits two people. That's all I need because most of the time it's just me. But I love my boat. I mean, it's just it fits. You know, it's great for rivers. It's great for rivers. If I get stuck and addicted to steelhead fishing, which I probably will, my boat's going to be hitting the Rogue. Nice parts of the Rogue, though. Never been on the Rogue, so it'll be all a new experience. And I'm looking forward to this because my 7.5-foot rod should be able to I'm going to take it out on the boat and we're going to give it a shot. He's got his own rigs that he wants me to use, but I really want to catch one on one of my rigs first. So we'll catch something on it. But I am looking forward to it. I'm so jacked to go I've never caught a steelhead, never been in a drift boat, never been on the Rogue River. It's all a brand new experience with me. Excuse me, 37 years married. She finally figured out the perfect gift for me. 37 years. You know, out of all 37 anniversaries, it was our second anniversary. She actually bought me a great gift, which was, I mean, when you think about it, this is 1980. We got married in 87, so 1989. She got me a snowboard. Okay. Nailed it. All right. Ever since then, you know, she got me last year. I'm a fat guy that doesn't like being fat. All right. She bought me a milkshake maker. You don't get a fat guy a milkshake maker. Just makes him fatter. I'm wearing black because I don't want you to see how. People look at me. I just look at them. So I identify as a extremely pregnant woman. People can say that nowadays. Just call me when you do. This is, definitely hit the clearance area. Let me see if they. Oh, check it out. I love 6 cents. I really do. And I always go to the clearance. Boom. And check them out. Oh, by the way, the black craw for $3. I had already bought too many, but I wanted that one. For $3, that black craw will kill it. I love black baits. Yeah, they still got a lot of stuff in here. You know, the Provoke series, those are great jerk baits. I got that Movement 80 bluegill. By the way, it's over there on the wall. But, oh yeah, that swank is only $7. They have swanks that are $4. Because I bought them. Yeah, the pumpkin seed stuff for $4 is great deals. Really is a very attractive paint design. They got a nice baby bass too, Crush series, $3. Yeah, they've got a lot of. Oh, that's this one that I just showed you. That one they still have for $4. The 77 on that, the Swank Crimson Craw. They still have it available. That's that's going to be a fantastic bait. Yeah, they're running out of the swanks, I think. Oh, they still have this for $14. They still got this one available. So yeah, they've sold out of a few of these, but yeah, they still have this trace for $14, and they still have this for $4. Oh, thanks. I'll have to. I've been so busy today with doctors. Oh my gosh, those are nice. I gotta, you add a blade to that and you've got yourself a great chatterbait. I think, those with a blade on it, those would be fantastic. Really would. And, chatterbait, blades, everybody's selling them nowadays. Everybody's making their own chatterbaits. And a chatterbait does really, really well in the water. And something about that, that flutter and that sparkle right ahead of the jig, a skirted jig is just the way to go. So, and I do have on my Buy Me a Coffee thing, a $15 a month subscription where I send you a bait every month, and a sticker. And maybe a surprise or two. Who knows? You know me. If you ever received anything from me, you always get more than you paid for. Always. It's just the way it is. I love under promise, over deliver. Always. So we're going to have. Yeah, I think the table will be set up nicely, I hope. Hope I don't bring too much. Probably will. Better to bring too much than not enough, right? But tomorrow, they're trying to make lemonade out of lemons, This weekend was supposed to be the Kite Festival, and the following weekend was supposed to be the Ice Fishing Festival. And since the water looks like this, can't do either. So they've been bringing in more snow from other parts of the park. Although it's been snowing today, so the webcams look pretty good when it comes to the snow. Chris is out there still shoveling, working on it, and yeah, they're yeah. I gotta maybe I'll get it. I gotta toss it out a little bit there. Teaching people how to catch trout through a water bobber setup, I think is going to be really, really nice because it is probably the easiest way to catch a trout in Lake of the Woods. So we're going to show them how to properly make and the proper leader length for a water bobber setup. A lot of people, when they do a water bobber, they might shorten that leader to 2 feet or so. And typically that's too short. You need it 3 to 5 feet, more in the 4 to 5 foot range. So as that water bobber starts to sink slowly, the bait will continue to rise up above it, and it will descend slowly. And before it hits bottom, more than likely you're going to get a hit of a trout. So, but I'm looking forward. It's all this, stuff. Teaching people how to catch a fish to me is the most fun thing there is. I love it. I mean, I just love it. But we're gonna bring my books. See if anybody wants to buy my books. This one, the Terrible Fishing Instruction Manual debuted as #1 on Amazon. So I told my son and my kids and my wife that they now have a best-selling author in the house. Took a screen grab when I was #1. But this is... And then, to describe, help people understand, the different swim actions of baits. Like here's a round bill. This is a round bill. As opposed to a square bill. That's a round bill. These are all round bills. That's my round bill. But round bills, they swim differently. Where a square bill does this, a round bill does this. And it serpentines through the water. It has a very fluid, very beautiful swim action to it. It's something that, a square bill doesn't do. And you'll actually see a lot of my baits are round bills because it's such a great way to catch a fish. A good presentation to the fish because it just goes through and it has a knock, just a soft knock to it. And it just does this all the way through the water. And round bills swim differently. They just do, as opposed to a square bill. Square bills are violent, and these are ballerinas. So you got the rockers, rock and roll guys, the ballerinas. And who doesn't love a ballerina? Fish love ballerinas. But here's a beautiful bleeding platinum white, and it really is. It's a really good one. This thing's really bright in the water too. So I got a lot of these. Here's a bluegill one. Oh, this one, I did something, and I did a video recently on how to catch twice as many fish. And I tell you, add a spinner to the back. And what this does, it elongates the entire bait presentation. So now this bait is this long, and it's jointed now. So now the whole bait, when it comes through the water in that S fashion, works really good on a round bill. That tail spins behind it, and it just elongates it. This is a crappie pattern, but it is a really effective bait. By adding this, I catch bigger fish, and you might even catch German browns with this. And it's just a very attractive way of adding flash, length, and that serpentine, that swim bait look to it. And here's a different company. I got this out of a box, subscription boxes, as Warriors, but basically the same idea. It's got this is a deep diving round bill, but it's a jointed bait. So on this one, basically similar, but I added the spinner to it. And the spinner, yeah, adds good flash to it. And it really makes it stand out in the water even more. Spinners are fairly affordable. You could get hook spinners all made up for you. Now, the hooks can be better, mind you. But you can get them on Amazon for a pretty affordable price. Yeah, stupid hook is stuck. There it goes. Pretty affordable price. And yeah, here's a deep diving jerkbait by Warriors. I really don't use the Warriors tackle much, but this one, okay, this one works, so don't laugh at it. When I first started painting, I was pretty bad. And so when I painted this, it was terrible. And so I started brushing it with cloth and rags and stuff, and it just came out so ugly. I figured, okay, I'll try it. So this right here, this red, black, and yellow, it's an ugly bait, but fish love it. You really don't need to know. You really don't know what's going to work until you throw it in the water, but it's a great little jerk bait. You know, this one, bam, bam, bam. It actually probably looks like a bloodied fish coming through the water. It works. What can you do? I mean, you don't know. Somebody asked me, does the bait have to look like the fish? I go, no. Baits, there's two ways of fishing. Yeah, it kind of does look like a yellow perch. There's two ways of fishing. You can fish to feed the fish, give them what they want to eat when they want to eat it. And you fish during their feeding schedules, so early morning, late in the afternoon. And you can catch fish, those periods of time. Or you can threaten the fish. What ends up happening when you threaten a fish is that you get something that's funky like this. And it's coming through the water like this to the fish. And it's threatened. Here comes, he don't know what it is. But whatever it is, he don't like it. And so you trigger a defensive, posture on the fish. And it attacks it. So all day long, you can catch fish when you work a reaction bite. And by threatening, and this happens a lot in the spring, when we actually, if you fish beds, which is, the nest of largemouth bass, when you fish them, the fish is not going, the mama is not going to leave the bed unless it's really, really threatened. So what you do is you usually take a soft plastic, a craw or something like that. You toss it over and you just try to walk it over the bed. You're just trying to walk it and try to really encroach upon the personal space of the mother, and triggering a very aggressive response. And otherwise, if you took this and you ran it over the bed like this, she'd just go, oh, look, a shooting star. She needs to really feel it, hit her or come at the bed itself. And so when I don't bed fish. I leave the fish alone for that. I always put the fish back, but you never know if you're going to damage the fish when you catch it. So sometimes you do damage a bass and you don't put it back. You can't put it back, and then the bed, those eggs will not hatch. So usually being eaten by other fish. So two ways of fishing. You can get a bait that looks like a fish that they eat, and you can swim it through the water during their feeding schedule and then catch them. Or you can just threaten them with something so foreign, like a Scud missile coming in, and they hit it out of pure self-preservation. And that's pretty much what you do. It's my favorite way of fishing. So I don't do a lot of drop shots. I don't do, although drop shots work really, 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 really well. But I really love controlling my presentation. Yeah, I can toss it out there and just wait. I do have a multi-rod license, so I could throw one out there and let it wait, and then I can work a bait. Maybe that's what I'll do this year. I don't know. I always do. I do have a multi-rod license, but I do it for ice fishing because in the state of Oregon, a 2-rod license gives you 5 poles in the water and the ice. So that is that. I know it. I know it. What kind of lures would you use right now at Lake of the Woods? Well, again, because you can't get out on the... Well, if you got a boat, you can get out on the lake. I mean, the launch is open. But what I would do right now is, again, I would probably do a water bobber setup. You grab a water bobber, fill it with water, put it on your line, put a barrel connection on it, and then 5-foot leader with a hook with power bait. The nice thing about water bobbers when they're full of water, they're heavy. So you toss that baby out there a mile and let it sink to the bottom and just wait. You have a John boat? Oh, you got a 10? I might have a friend that he's looking for a boat, my buddy. He loves my boat. But a 10-foot John would actually be... Send me pictures of it, Connery. Send me pictures and what you want to sell it for. And I'll take it to my buddy. Because he's looking for a nice little fishing boat. And John boats are great because John boats are flat-bottom boats. You can get them into the weeds and you can have a good old time with them. And a nice 10-footer, you can put in the back of the truck if you don't have, if it doesn't come with a trailer. So, I mean, you could do that with a 10-footer. So, but send me some info on it. Maybe I can sell it for you. What? See what you got. I have a 10 John trying to sell and a 12-foot. Oh, you're keeping that. But yeah, send me some information on the 10. Maybe I know somebody that will take it off your hands. If it's a good brand too, that would be good too. But John boats are really neat. I thought about buying a John boat, but I had owned a fold cat before and I really liked it. Really fun boat for rivers and oceans too. So it's just and I can fit it so many different ways. But John boats are neat because there's so much you can do with a John. You can put a deck on there, you can put tackle, you can put a live well if you want in it. I mean, you can do all sorts of things with a John boat. I like the design of John boats. And again, flat bottom boats, you got a very shallow draft. You can get it right into the lily pads and start working the lily pads. I mean, that's a good boat. It's a good boat. But yeah, but right now, Coop, I mean, you're going to go very small, very slow. And I think since you're fishing from the shore, you got to get it out there, so a water bobber setup will work really, really well right now. I'm sure with a water bobber setup, you'd be able to catch your limit in trout and perch and crappie and whatever else that it wants to hit it. Right now, the water's so cold, it's 35, 37 degree water. I don't recommend going out on the lake unless you're in a really good boat. You guys know what happened to me 2 years ago. I almost died in that lake when it was cold water. And it was close. It was close. 10 more minutes in the water, I would have been dead. But everybody was working hard at trying to figure out how to get me into shore. I was in the middle of the lake, flipped my kayak, and lost everything. And as soon as I hit the water, because I have damaged lungs, I couldn't breathe. So I felt like I was suffocating and freezing at the same time, and which I was. But when 40 minutes in that cold water had pretty much put me in pretty good hypothermia. My core temp had fallen to 92. At 90, you're dead. My kayak, which I was holding on to, had a hole in it then, at that point, and it was sinking. So if it had sunk, I would have drowned for sure. So I was like 10 minutes away from death. And when they got me to shore, they, Dan, put me in the all-terrain cart thing and took me to the ambulance. The ambulance took me to the helicopter. Helicopter took me to the hospital. It was a mess. That was a mess. But I'm very safe now. So I'm very safe. I did have my PFD on. I did have my life jacket on. So cool. I love. I call her. That's a nice little boat. You painted that? Did you paint that? That's a great little boat. I like it. Yeah. It's not registered or titled. It really is that old? Doesn't have a VIN number on it? Wow. Well, how do you register it? Well, if it never had one, they'd have to assign one to it. Because you're going to put a motor on it. And as soon as you put a motor on it, you have to register it. So, yeah, I don't know how you would do that. Is it, I mean, there's no holes in it, nothing like that? Because I see in the back of it might be a dent towards the back, right along the transom. Huh. It's a nice little boat. I like it. I like it a lot. Put a little boat motor on that, and you're good to go. No leaks. Good. The it's got to have some kind of. It's got to be a number on it someplace, right? Doesn't it? Have to have a number on it someplace? How is she going to register it? Huh. You did a good job in painting it, though. I like that. Have you used it? Have you used it, Connery? That'd be a fun boat to take out. Yeah. So yeah, throw a motor on the back. You can just go put a 55-pound thrust would probably work really good. Although with a nice boat like that, you can probably put two 12s on it, run 24 volt and go a 70 pound thrust, and still get around very quickly with it. So, what's the holding weight on it? Oh, cool. Oh, you did. I just went straight to the picture. I went straight to the picture. I didn't read it. Oh, you have to pay to get it VINed and registered. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, the what's the load? How much weight can it take? Usually, John boats can handle a lot of weight. I'm fat. My buddy isn't. Let's see. What did I do that for? No such thing as a 101-foot John boat. Do you know who makes it? Who made it way back when? It's got to have a ID stamp on it someplace. It usually can handle it. See, there's a 10-foot John boat out here for it can handle 350 pounds of weight. So it can hold 400 pounds. You know how much I weigh? I weigh 300 pounds. Is that sad? It's pitiful. It really is pitiful. 300 pounds. And I've been trying everything to lose weight. 300 pounds. Nothing more frustrating than to me. I mean, so a 10-foot would probably hold 350 pounds pretty easily. That's me and a battery. My buddy doesn't weigh 200, so he's short and not heavy. So you can put him and his wife in there. I weigh as much as him and his wife. How sad is that? Gosh. You know, my boat is, let me see if I can, where is it? So here's me and my boat. There's me and my boat. So imagine, all right, my boat is 12 and a half feet long, and I weigh 300 pounds. On the back, you've got a motor and a battery on it. So add another 50 pounds there. Because it's a lithium-ion battery, only weighs 25 pounds. I put 25 pounds on the motor. So, probably that, plus a few other extraneous. So it might be 350, 375 on the back of my boat. Still sitting pretty high on the water. It looks pretty good. And then I put a skinny person up front, and I'm good to go. I had no name or any info. The guy bought it before restoring it. He used it as an extra boat for duck hunting. Oh, yeah, it'd be a great duck boat. That's a really good duck boat. I don't know if I'd paint it red for a duck boat, but I'd definitely put a camo on it, or green, or some kind of army green on it. Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing. These are 18-inch pontoons on my boat. And, thing just, I think it's rated for 500 pounds, but I think it can easily go beyond 500 pounds. Anyway, I like it. I'll talk to my friend about that. So, see if we can't get it sold. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely ballast. Definitely ballast. The neat thing too about this boat is if you do want to swim from it, you can swim, and then you come in on towards the front of it, and in between the pontoon, you can just pop yourself up. It's really easy to get back into the boat. So very stable. I can stand on one pontoon on that boat and not flip it. I mean, it is a very, very stable boat, which is the reason why I got it, because of me flipping my kayak and almost dying. So my son now has the kayak. It's a great kayak, by the way. Love my kayak. But this is a fun boat. This is a Fold Cat. Fold Cat 375 FC. So love that boat. And it's got everything. I got more. I have a dozen rod holders on it. You got a lot of rod holders on that thing, and anchor thing. It really is a very cool boat. It's great in rivers too. Really good in rivers. Only a 5-inch draft, even with my fatness on it. Thing's only got a 5-inch draft on it. So I've taken it in the Williamsons, floated it, and I'm wondering, they are, my last one lasted 15 years, and I sold it as good as new. This one, they made some nice improvements on it since my first boat. Like the pontoons now are 2-chambered each. The old one was 1-chambered, but they're impossible. I mean, you have to drill a hole through it. And then they've given a little bit more deck space and that stand-up bar that you saw on it. And the old one did not have the stand-up bar. But most people put the stand-up bar at the front of the boat for the front fishermen. But since I do have brain injury, I have a hard time with my balance. I put it in the back of the boat in order for me to get. It's a handicap bar. I don't think I want it in the front anyway, because I think it would impede my casting. But having it in the back of the boat, it gives me. But you can see my camera is mounted to it, among other things. Then you can mount a lot of stuff to it, and then it's a steady area for me to just help myself get in and out of the boat. You could put one up in the back and at the front if a person really wanted to. Timmy, thanks. Are you coming? Are you going to be there tomorrow? You going to be there tomorrow? Because it's, I need support. I want to look all by myself in my little pop-up. Bring my cat. I don't think my cat would enjoy it. Yeah, well, I'm going to have I really will have a good time. Because Lake of the Woods is this is sort of a last minute thing, because there is no kite festival or ice fishing festival, because water looks like that. I don't know how big the crowds are going to be tomorrow. Usually be thousands, so it's all right. Tune in. I am going to be doing. Oh, cool! I am going to be doing some a live, so you got to tune in and check it out and watch me fumble. Just watch me. Yeah, I have. You will see my sarcasm at work. Women love my sarcasm. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, typically they have a couple thousand for a kite festival, but and then we had over 1,000 on the ice during the ice fishing festival last year. We had a lot of people. I was so tired. My buddies that helped me out were exhausted. It was just so exhausting. But it was good. I mean, it was a good tired. When you work that hard, to get that many smiles, it makes all the difference in the world. So, but stop by my table. I'm going. I'm going to make the spinners, and I'm not going to paint baits. I was thinking about it. Women love my sarcasm. It's their boyfriends that don't. Husbands. The crazy thing is, and I don't notice this because I've been married 37 years, but I don't wear my wedding ring because my weight has been going up and down lately, and my wedding ring doesn't fit on my fingers anymore. So I'm waiting until I lose enough weight, and I'll resize it again because I had it resized to when I got fat, and so now I want to wait till I get thinner and resize it again. But I don't wear a wedding ring, and so women, when I tease them, and it's my sarcasm, I'm a very outgoing guy. I treat everybody the same. I'll tease the guy, I'll tease the girl. And sometimes the woman thinks I'm flirting with them. I'm not. I'm just being me. And people around me, that know me, they'll come up to me and go, Mike, she's flirting with you. I go, I go, I'm fat, broken, gray. Who wants a old, fat, broken man? I'm not flirting with her. I had to tell one woman once that I am happily married. I hope we have a lot of people tomorrow. I really do. They featured me on their Facebook page, and so I am a featured speaker for tomorrow. They call me the fishing concierge. I'm not even French. I'm a Sicilian. The fishing mafia. That should be me. It's more my ethnicity. Fishing mafia. I scare them away. But so I am a featured speaker tomorrow, and hopefully, people will come over and give me something to talk about, and make some baits, and so that we're going to have live entertainment all day tomorrow. So that'll be fun. So, the band's going to be sitting, right up there. I'm going to dress nice and warm, get my snow jacket and my snowsuit on for tomorrow. And I don't know what other people they're going to have there. I think this is kind of like last minute because they only told me last weekend, or else I would have ordered more books. So. Goomba. We're fishing peasant. Yeah, my wife shakes her head too. It was so funny. We were in Portland, Oregon last time, and an old high school buddy of mine and I hooked up, and we took our families to a restaurant. And we walked into the restaurant, and these three girls were just pretty well sloshed. And I talked to everybody. And I guess they were flirting with me. I didn't notice it, but my wife went over to the girls. She goes, ladies, you can't afford him. I go, what? I looked at him and go, I am pretty expensive. My wife, is that? I'm expensive, but yeah, I'm worth it. Well, goodbye. But I talked to everybody. I related a story recently because of the Super Bowl this weekend. In 2003, I went to a 49ers training camp during media day. My boss sent me. And so I brought 2 footballs for the team to sign. One for my boss, one for my brother-in-law, who was a big 49ers fan. And I just started talking to this guy. And his name was Peter Harris. And he was the president of the 49ers organization. We probably are, too. And so me and Peter, we just hit it off. I'm from Fresno at the time. And Pat Hill and I are good friends. And he was a big Fresno State fan, Peter was. And he started talking to me about Pat. I'll talk about Pat. Pat's a great guy. And so he and I just hit it off. And all of a sudden, these reporters started wondering who in the heck I was. And so I got introduced to Bill Walsh. And it was his last year with the club. And I had lunch with Bill Walsh and his wife and Peter. And we just had a good time. And everybody, afterwards was like, and I got 2 team balls signed, by the way. One for my boss, one for my brother-in-law. And I had to threaten Terrell Owens to sign it because unless you have boobs and a mic, he wasn't going to sign a ball for me. But I had to threaten him. And I really did. I actually threatened him. But, he acquiesced on the third attempt and he signed the balls. But all the, ESPN came up to me, NBC, all these guys started coming up to me. How do you know Peter? Mr. Harris and Mr. I go, you know what? I go, if you were a nicer guy with my personality, I go, maybe you'd get an interview. I go, I just met the guy. I go, we hit it off. I go, and Bill Walsh, he's a great guy. It's like, I just being friendly. I just say hi to everybody, and my sarcasm sort of shake. People when a person is sarcastic to them, they don't understand how to take it, but they like it, but they're not sure why. It's kind of the way Italians are. We're kind of lovable, but nobody knows why. Yeah, Tio was a piece. Tio was a pure narcissist. I took pictures of everybody that day. Everybody who signed the balls, I took pictures of. So my brother-in-law got the ball with a picture of everybody signing the ball. So nobody could say that signature. You got to have a little what do they call provenance? Or anyway, something like that to go with to authenticate the ball. So I had everybody sign the ball. And you're Italian by proxy. But yeah, Tio was, like you said, unless you had boobs that were out there and a microphone, he wasn't giving me the time. Finally, I had to push myself through a bunch of reporters before he went into the locker room. And I'm face to face with Tio. I go, Tio. I go, my sister, she's a big fan. I go, she asked me to get your signature on this ball. I go, if I follow you into that break room or into the locker room, I go, 1, I don't want to see you naked. 2, I don't want to get arrested. I go, 3, I don't think anybody's going to like me. I go, I really need you to sign this ball for my sister. So he looked at me with a little grin. He just give me the ball. So I took a picture of him signing the ball. Of course, it's the biggest signature on the ball. Biggest signature on the ball. In the most prominent area. I'm surprised he even found that ball still had a prominent area. Because everybody else on the team had already signed it. You know who I forgot to get to sign it, though? And I should have. There was one person, in hindsight, I had all the players sign it. I should have had Bill Walsh sign it. I forgot. I was kind of, starstruck with Bill and Peter. So I was, should have had Bill Walsh sign it. He's dead nowadays, but what a great signature to have on a football. So I shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't. Just the way it is. Nobody's disappointed. When I gave that ball a week later to my brother-in-law at his youngest daughter's wedding. All of a sudden, I had free run of the bar. I was the hero. He even forgot his daughter practically was getting married that day because he carried that football around like it was his new baby. It's so funny. Bob was a really good brother-in-law. Really good brother-in-law. He passed away about 8 or 9 years ago. But what a what a great guy. What a great guy. Worth me threatening Terrell Owens and getting that ball signed. All right, Timmy. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So, all right, I guess I'll let you guys go. I mean, I kind of just sort of did this because, it's snowing outside and, kind of bored. Kind of bored. But we'll bring these books. We'll bring those cards. The really bad fishing reel so people can see how a reel is, a bait caster is set up. So, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. I mean, one thing about starting this channel, I've been able to meet some really cool people. And I like that. And like I said, people make life better. So check out the, the Buy Me Coffee thing down below. And if you want to support the channel, have at it. And I really would appreciate it. Over 1,000 videos I've made so far, let alone a bunch of other stuff. But there is a $15 a month membership where I send you bait every month. And that is very, very cool. I've always wanted to do that, and maybe Buy Me Coffee is a good way of doing it. I don't know. But I've always wanted to do it. And as I get more baits in, I got to sell baits. I've got 100 baits behind me. I got to sell them because I need some more, what we call in retail, open to buy. So you got to sell your inventory to buy more inventory. That's the cash that's open to buy. And it's a formula. It's in my book. Believe it or not. I actually teach people, new business owners, how to manage their inventory in here and how to promote. So I think, where is it? I do explain open to buy in here. Where is it? I teach them how to sell. There's a good chapter on salesmanship, how to sell customers. Oh yeah, here it is, under budgeting, forecasting, sales. Yeah, there it is. Open to buy. OTB. Most people that start their own small businesses, they have no idea what open to buy is. And it's one of those important things to keep you out of going out of business. And so open to buy is a very, very important thing. And understanding terms, zero, net 30, net 60, net 90. Those types of terms that vendors use. So it's actually a really good book. It's only 100 pages. Very direct, very simple, but very informative. It's a good book. Again, it was the first book I wrote, and I was on a small business, a think tank in Washington, D.C. I've been around. I used to work in Taiwan, Asia, Washington, D.C., NASA. I've touched a lot of things. So, but yeah, that's a good book. So maybe, bring a few of them tomorrow, see if anybody wants it. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. And I want to thank you guys. Thanks for giving me somebody to talk to. Let's hope somebody does that for me tomorrow. All right, here we go. Ready? Bobblehead.